Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Language Podcast. Today's episode is very special. In this episode, we will train your English brain using 100 useful phrases that people really use in everyday life. These are phrases you hear at work, on the bus, in stores, at restaurants, and in real conversations. Don't just listen, repeat with me. Let's start with a simple, real-life story. This morning started like many mornings. I woke up and said, "What time is it? What time is it?" I looked at my phone and thought, "I'm running a little late. I'm running a little late." I got out of bed and said, "I need to get ready. I need to get ready." In the kitchen, I looked around and said, "I'll make something quick. I'll make something quick." While drinking coffee, I thought, "I don't have much time. I don't have much time." These are real thoughts. People say them every day. I left the house and locked the door. I checked my pockets and said, "Did I forget my keys? Did I forget my keys?" Then I said, "No, I have everything. No, I have everything." At the bus stop, I looked at the road and asked, "Is the bus late? Is the bus late?" Another person said, "It should be here soon. It should be here soon." I nodded and said, "That's good to know. That's good to know." On the bus, I needed a seat, so I asked, "Is this seat taken? Is this seat taken?" The person smiled and said, "No, go ahead. No, go ahead." I sat down and thought, "This is more comfortable. This is more comfortable." Someone answered their phone and said, "I'll call you back later. I'll call you back later." You hear this everywhere. I arrived near work and said, "This is my stop. This is my stop." I got off the bus and walked toward the office. At work, my coworker said, "Good morning, how's it going?" "How's it going?" I answered, "Not bad, thanks. Not bad, thanks." Then I added, "How about you? How about you?" This is real small talk. My manager asked me, "Do you have a minute? Do you have a minute?" I answered, "Sure, what's up? Sure, what's up?" She asked about a task and I said, "I'm working on it. I'm working on it." Then I added, "I'll finish it by tomorrow. I'll finish it by tomorrow." This is work English people use every day. Around lunchtime, I felt hungry and said, "Let's grab something to eat. Let's grab something to eat." At the restaurant, the waiter asked, "Are you ready to order? Are you ready to order?" I answered, "Yes, I'll have this. Yes, I'll have this." While waiting, I thought, "This place is busy today. This place is busy today." When the food arrived, the waiter asked, "Is everything okay? Is everything okay?" I answered, "Yes, everything's fine. Yes, everything's fine." After lunch, I paid and said, "Can I get the bill, please? Can I get the bill, please?" The waiter smiled and said, "I'll be right back. I'll be right back." After paying, I said, "Keep the change. Keep the change." These are phrases you really use. Later, I went shopping. I looked at a jacket and asked, "How much is this? How much is this?" The salesperson answered and I said, "That's a bit expensive. That's a bit expensive." Then I asked, "Do you have it in another color? Do you have it in another color?" She said, "Let me check. Let me check." I waited and thought, "I'll think about it. I'll think about it." In the evening, I met a friend. We said, "Long time no see." Long time no see. We sat down and talked. My friend said, I've been really busy. I've been really busy. I answered, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. We talked about life and I said, things will get better. Things will get better. This is real emotional English. Before going home, I checked the time and said, I should get going. I should get going. My friend said, let's catch up soon. Let's catch up soon. I smiled and said, sounds good. Sounds good. On the way home, I felt tired and said, what a long day. What a long day. At home, I sat down and said, I need to relax. I need to relax. I checked my phone and thought, I'll deal with this tomorrow. I'll deal with this tomorrow. Before sleeping, I said to myself, I did my best today. I did my best today. This sentence is very important. All right, let's continue our journey. In this part of the podcast, you'll hear only real conversations. These are the kinds of conversations people have at work, with friends, in public places, and in daily situations. Listen carefully and repeat the important sentences with me. It started in the afternoon at work. I was sitting at my desk when my coworker came over and said, Do you have a moment? I looked up and answered, Sure, what's going on? She sat down and said, I wanted to check in with you about the project. I nodded and said, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. She asked, Are you on schedule? And I replied, More or less, yes. More or less, yes. These are very natural work phrases. Later, my manager joined the conversation and said, We might need to make a few changes. I paused and answered, That makes sense. That makes sense. She continued explaining, and I said, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. These phrases show understanding and professionalism. After work, I met a friend for coffee. We sat down and he said, Sorry I'm late. I smiled and replied, No worries at all. No worries at all. He looked tired and said, It's been a long week. I answered, Tell me about it. Tell me about it. This is a very common conversational phrase. While talking, he asked me about my plans. I said, I'm thinking about making a change. I'm thinking about making a change. He asked, Like what? And I answered, I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided yet. Then I added, I just need some time to think. I just need some time to think. A little later, my phone rang. I looked at it and said, I'll take this quickly. I'll take this quickly. On the phone, someone asked me a favor. I listened and said, Let me get back to you. Let me get back to you. This phrase is very useful in many situations. On the way home, I stopped by a store. The cashier said, Do you need a bag? I replied, No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Then she asked about payment, and I said, I'll pay by card. I'll pay by card. Simple, clear, everyday language. That evening, I joined a small family dinner. Someone asked, How was your day? I answered honestly. It was busy, but productive. It was busy, but productive. Another person asked, "Are you tired?" And I said, "A little, but I'm okay." A little, but I'm okay. These answers sound natural and calm. During dinner, the conversation became more personal. Someone said, "Life has been stressful lately." I nodded and replied, "I've been feeling the same way." I've been feeling the same way. Then I added, "We'll get through it." We'll get through it. These phrases are very important for real human connection. Later that night, I checked my schedule and said to myself, I need to plan ahead. I need to plan ahead. I looked at tomorrow and thought, I'll take it one step at a time. I'll take it one step at a time. This is a powerful everyday phrase. Before going to bed, I sent a message to a friend and wrote, "Just wanted to let you know." Just wanted to let you know. Then I finished with, "Talk to you soon." Talk to you soon. These phrases are everywhere in messages and emails. As I lay in bed, I reflected on the day and said quietly, "All things considered, it was a good day." All things considered, it was a good day. Then I smiled and said, "Tomorrow is another opportunity." Tomorrow is another opportunity. These conversations, these phrases, this language, this is real English. This is not classroom English. This is the English people use when they live, work, think, and feel. If this episode of 100 Useful Phrases for Everyday Life is helping you understand and speak more naturally, please subscribe to Global Language Podcast. Let's repeat it together. Please subscribe to Global Language Podcast. Please subscribe to Global Language Podcast. When you subscribe, you stay connected and continue learning with us. Thank you for listening. Keep repeating, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next episode.